Where is the hope? Because I don't want to talk about the deep brokenness. I want to talk about what must happen for that culture of apathy, for that culture of looking away when things are going crazy in Zimbabwe to actually change. What must happen in Zimbabwe for what happened in Kenya and what happened in Mozambique to also come to Zimbabwe? So the first thing that we have to understand is that the major difference between a young person in Kenya and a young person in Zimbabwe is simply their psychology. It is what they think. It is the level of consciousness. Young people in Kenya and in Mozambique at this particular moment are very conscious. In Zimbabwe, it might be a little bit different. And I think the major reason is that in the past, we had so much more infrastructure that was built to spread civic and political education. So this is where we need to start. Spreading civic and political education. There have to be mass programs in Zimbabwe that are spreading civic and political education, because clearly there was something that was happening in the mind of a young Kenyan when Ruto increased taxes that compelled them to say, hey, that tax increase will affect me. That is something that will affect me and I need to act. But when Mthuli Ncube is increasing taxes in Zimbabwe, that thing that is happening in the mind of a young Kenyan is not happening in the mind of a young Zimbabwean. That connection, that symbiotic connection between the increase of taxes and the hardship I will experience at a very personal level is not happening in Zimbabwe. And that can only happen when there is a high level of civic and political education, where I can see that 2% increase in tax affecting what I eat, affecting where I go to school, affecting the ability of my parents to provide decency for me. And that can only happen when we increase civic and political education to build consciousness. And this is the first step.